Welcome to the Irish Beer Report, where each month Martin and I will be chatting about Irish craft beers. We've teamed up with Island Craft Beers to bring you reviews of the beers that are now available for you to enjoy. Find out more at islandcraftbeers.com. So this month it's all about the White Hag, and we're going to be reviewing 3 beers from the White Hag that Island Craft Beers have sent to us. Martin, what's the first one that we're going to be tucking into?
Oh, thank you for giving me the one which I can't pronounce. It's the White Hag Irish Brewing Company Irish IPA, Bran and Sceolan, which has got no resemblance to how it's supposed to be said. So you'll have to look it up again if you want to find out what it looks like.
Okay, so this is an IPA. It's 7.2% IPA. American style, made with Irish malt and 5 American hop varieties. So I'm quite excited, being the IPA fiend that I am, to get stuck into this one.
I'm also quite excited to try some Irish beer that I can't normally get hold of, even when I go out for celebrating St. Patrick's Day. So yes. Here we go.
Okay, brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers. Certainly smells like an American IPA.
I mean, that's got a lovely aroma on it. It's a little dank. There's a little bit of pine in there as well, and then there's just kind of this beautiful citrus feel weaving its way through there.
Yeah, it's definitely got the for me the West Coast IPA feel to it on the nose.
Yeah, there's a little bit of mango in there, maybe a little bit of pineapple. It's got a very lasting dry finish.
Very lasting dry finish
to it as well, almost cuttingly so.
Nice light carbonation.
Yep.
And slightly cloudy. So I don't know if these are unfined, perhaps, or unfiltered. So it's not quite cleared all the way through.
No, it's I think it's got a slight haze to it. That's for sure.
Irish Merc.
Maybe it is Irish Merc. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. No, that's really enjoyable. I mean, that's really easy to drink.
Yeah, that is very, very easy.
7.2%, really, really drinkable.
So where in my parents' homeland is the White Hag Brewing Company based?
Okay, so White Hag are based in Ballymote, which is a small town in South Sligo, northwest of Ireland. So it was originally built in 2013 as a brewery. Started brewing in 2014. First beers were sold in the summer of 2014. In August 2014, the first container of beers left the Irish shores and made their way to the US as well. And then in September, their beers were launched to massive acclaim at the RDS Festival in Dublin as well. So quite a fledgling brewery.
Yeah, quite young. I mean, have you tried any of their beers before, Steve?
I must admit I have. I've tried probably all of the beers that we're doing tonight. And when I was at the All Tech Festival earlier on in the year, I probably tried quite a few more.
Right.
As well. So these aren't new beers to me. Although I must say that either the recipe has changed on the IPA, or I'm drinking this a lot fresher than I drank it the first time, because I don't remember it being this good when I first drank it.
Yeah, this is really punchy on the fruit flavours, but it's not. I'm not feeling the booze. There's no real boozy after.
There's no burn or anything in there, is there? It's just really easy drinking. Just. Almost want to say good old-fashioned IPA, or what we're becoming used to as being sort of like the standard feel for an IPA.
Yeah, but it's very, very simple to drink. It's not complicated, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just it is almost a throwback to IPAs even just a year or 16, 18 months ago. But yeah, it's nice. I quite like the branding on the bottles as well. Actually,
I mean the branding it's very simple. It's to the point. It does what it says on the tin. All the labels are a different colour, which kind of ties into the beers that they're drinking. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I enjoyed a fair few of their beers. It was back in February at Alltech, and in fact one of them was a version of a stout, and I'm not sure whether it's this one we're drinking tonight. It might be this one that we're drinking tonight, that had been pulled for a Randall that had coffee beans in it, and it was like the most coffee flavour beer you are ever likely to drink, to the point where 2 hours later I was still saying that every beer tasted like coffee.
Blimey.
Because it had completely destroyed my palate for the evening.
Okay, so maybe an end of the evening beer.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the second beer that we're featuring as part of this first Irish beer report. What's the next one up, mate?
The next one is no less difficult for me to pronounce, so I'm going to say all the other words first. Again, it's White Hag. It's the Irish Heather Sour Ale, which comes in at a bit higher, 7.5%. And the way it's written says Beann Gulban, but I'm assuming that's probably not how it's said. But my parents never really did teach me Gaelic, so apologies to anyone Irish listening to this. I'm not meaning to be really bad at this.
I imagine some of our Irish listeners, if they've got this far and actually decided to listen to this thing that we're doing here, will be getting in touch round about now to correct us on our pronunciation of these beers. So, okay, as you say, this is a Heather Sour Ale. So this is a resurrection of an ancient beer style brewed in Ireland, that was brewed up until the 1700s, using Irish heather in place of the hops to balance the sweet, rich malts. So
we've got no hops?
Got no hops in this beer. I don't understand.
No, right, here goes.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's got a very sour nose.
It's certainly sour on the nose. I mean, it's poured. I'm not going to say it's flat, but there's no head, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of life to it either.
There is a slight tingle on the tongue, but yeah, I mean, it's completely different in appearance. I mean, it's a lot darker. It's almost got like reminds me a bit of a Flemish red or a sour cherry. Yeah,
it's got that kind of feel to it. I mean, it's not mouth puckeringly sour. It's very well balanced. There's a lot of red fruit flavours going on in there.
I'm fairly impressed, bearing in mind there's a distinct lack of hops in here. It's not really affecting my judgment of the beer at all.
No,
I'm a big fan of the Flemish reds, the sour beers. Again, coming in at 7.5%, this feels like it could be dangerous for me sometimes.
It's just incredibly easy to drink.
It's very easy to drink. Yeah, getting that little bit of sour cherry on it. Like I said, the light carbonation really helps it. A little bit dry at the end.
It does dry the mouth out.
Yeah, but it's very well balanced.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I'm quite taken by this.
It's not going to have me reaching for the Rennies at any point soon. It's not that far sour that it's going to destroy me. But like I say, I mean, for me, that the balance is incredible in there in terms of the tart fruitness. There's an easy finish in there, but then just that feel that there's no way this is a 7.5% beer.
No, not at all. I'm not feeling the boozy again. No boozy afterburn. I'm not feeling the strength in it. It's only because it says 7.5% on the front that I've got any idea. I wouldn't be able to get it from the flavour at all.
No.
I probably would have pitched it a lot closer to 5, if I'm being absolutely honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. So a little bit more about White Hag. Very much based on the traditions in Ireland and traditional recipes and ancient Irish mythology, where by all accounts the White Hag was a witch, a chameleon creature, and even Mother Nature herself. So a lot of the beer names I think hark back to some of those stories from ancient times in Ireland. Their beers are split into 3 distinct ranges. So they've got staples, which include things like the IPA. There's some stouts in there. Some of the ancient styles are in there as well. There's a session IPA and there's a red IPA. They've got some seasonals as well that they do. So they do a wit, a white IPA, an Oktoberfest, and a winter ale, and then they do some specials as well. So they do some things like a sour red, a coffee chocolate milk stout, Brett Pia pale ale, barrel aged stout. So very much laying out their market in terms of a wide range of beers for a wide range of drinkers.
That is quite a wide range. I like what they've done with having your core beers. I mean, it's very important, I think, for a lot of people. It doesn't suit every brewer or every brewery, but I think a core range helps people, especially when they're new to the craft market.
Yeah,
it's handy to have that core range to point people towards.
Absolutely.
So well done them. I mean, like I said, I know nothing about White Hag. Haven't tried their beers and stuff, and I've tried 2 so far, and I am very impressed with both offerings.
Yes, absolutely. They are solid beers, and I can see why the guys are so keen to export to so many countries as well to get these beers into people's hands.
Well, to be fair, the Irish have always been good at exporting. A lot of the time it's themselves. The Irish have gone far and wide across the world, so if the beers are now starting to follow and anything else from the Emerald Isle, then I'm more than happy myself.
Me too. I mean, I've long been going back to what was it, season 6 of the Beer O'Clock Show, where we did the Irish season, where we teamed up with the guys from the Irish Beer Snobs, and we had Sarah Finney on as well, and we were exploring the Irish beers early on. I've been to Dublin quite a few times since then, and I don't think I've ever come back and said, "Oh, well, I'm fed up with the beer." There now. It's always changing. It's always innovating. It's always exciting beer as well that's coming out of there.
Oh, I think there's probably, I'm sure we'll touch upon this as we do further reviews of Irish beers. I think there's lots of scope for Ireland to develop as a market. Plenty of room there for people who can really do something decent.
Yeah.
They are used to a very small amount of offerings.
2 down, 1 to go. We've probably saved the biggest one till last though. We're now moving on to mine. What's the beer that we're moving on to now? I think even you can manage this one.
Yes, they've been very kind with this one. It's the Imperial Oatmeal Stout, which is a 10.2%, and they've very kindly, maybe just for my own benefit, called it Black Boar. Okay,
so big beer to finish off with. It looks incredible from over here.
Yeah, that head hasn't got any sort of white sheen to it at all. It's got a nice caramel colour to it. It does look very inviting at the moment. So here's your glass, Steve.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm getting more almost like roasted kind of aroma at the moment.
Yeah.
Rather than those big brash dark flavours that you sometimes get from like coffee and chocolate. That's not coming out on the nose at the moment.
Yeah, sometimes the oatmeal can just help to soften.
Yeah.
But doesn't seem to be doing that in here. It's quite a harsh finish. It's not the smooth finish I was expecting.
It's a bit more bitter than I thought it might be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's unpleasant. It's probably just not quite what we were anticipating, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I say, for me, when I see the words oatmeal in a beer, I'm expecting something that's just been softened a little bit by the oatmeal, slightly more velvety texture to it.
Yeah, I'd expect the mouthfeel to be a little bit almost feel thicker.
Yeah.
Because of the oatmeal in it, but there's definitely a boozy hit to it though. There's definitely a boozy afterburn.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one that, as opposed to the previous one, which was hiding its ABV very well, this one comes bowling down the street with a t-shirt on and a big flag proclaiming "I am 10.2%."
Definitely, it's definitely got that afterburn. It's almost got almost like a whiskey afterburn for me.
Yeah, it's I mean, I can see that, and it's a beer that would probably lend itself very well to a little bit of barrel aging.
I think actually this one would be. It almost feels like I'm drinking it too fresh.
Can a beer ever be too fresh?
Well, exactly.
Well,
if only people had spoken about that sort of thing before.
Yes,
but yeah,
indeed.
I'm getting more. It's not so much flavours. I'm getting more things which are making me think of other. So I'm getting bitterness. I'm getting roastiness. I'm getting the boozy afterfeel. I'm actually not getting masses of flavours on it.
Yeah, that the flavours are a little bit hidden by everything else that's going on in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs a little bit more time to breathe and come to life. Who knows? I mean, like I say, for me, it's a beer that's not hiding what it is. It's a big, bold Imperial stout.
Oh yeah, it's telling you, I'm boozy. If you have too many of these, you're going to fall over and you're going to end up on your arse.
Yeah, or even with just one of these.
Yes.
Yes.
But I think it's quite complex. I'm just not sure I'm getting everything out of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think maybe this is one that we'll continue drinking into the evening, but we're probably not going to get any more of it out of it now. So that brings to an end the first episode of the Irish Beer Report. You'll be pleased to know that some of the White Hag beers are available on the Ales by Mail website, which regular listeners to anything that we do will know that there's a discount available on the Beer O'Clock Show website for Ales by Mail. So get yourself onto our website, get the discount code, and if you want to try some White Hag beers, get onto Ales by Mail. We're really grateful again to the folks at Island Craft Beers for wanting to team up with us to do a podcast. As I say, we'll be doing these on a monthly basis. These beers are obviously being sent to us by Island Craft Beers as well, but obviously the fact that we're getting them sent to us for free doesn't affect our thoughts on what we're drinking and what we're enjoying here. So we'll look forward to catching up with you all again next month. Cheers.
Cheers.